And hello and welcome back to the channel. Good day, good day. And I am Bragi.
And I am Egil. Now, Bragi, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're here for a first in a new series which we'll be developing over the next few years.
Wow.
So, shows you how dedicated we are. And this is a series on Dark Age battles. Okay. And this is the Battle of Holme, or of the Holme.
It's interesting, the name, because Holme,
yes,
is the old spelling for the Holme Oak, dweller by the Holme Oak.
Right.
Because around Derby there are quite a few people, my brother-in-law included, who have the name Holmes.
Right, yes, of course, because Sherlock Holmes is the most famous one. So, we're going to go on and talk about this battle. Now, the Battle of the Holme took place in East Anglia on the 13th of December in 902 AD. So, you know, it was a good 10th century battle, very beginning. And the battle was fought between the anglo-saxon men of Kent and the East Anglian Danes.
Pretty turbulent time around there, especially around East Anglia.
Well, of course, so it's a very turbulent area of the UK in England. England, as the Saxons called it. Now, the location of the battle is very sadly unknown.
It's the same with a lot of us, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these battle sites, we do not know exactly where they took place. Some people say it took place here, and some people say it took place there. Perhaps in time, with more ecology and more digs and more research, we may have some better ideas.
The trouble is, the places change
Yes.
names, and where it says the Battle of the Holme, I wouldn't mind betting there was oak trees, but they're probably not there now. So
Yeah, but the battle was said to have taken place at Holme, and that was near Huntingdon.
Right.
So that's quite interesting, which is now part of Cambridgeshire. It used to be part of Huntingdonshire, didn't it, back in the day?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you've got a rough location. But...
Yeah. So, and following the death of Alfred the Great in 899 AD, his son Edward, who will later become Edward the Older, becomes king. So, do you want to chat about that slightly?
Well, Edward the Elder, I mean, he, as I say, was son of King Alfred, but he was also brother to Queen Athelflaed. Yes, I'm an Athelflaed fan, and was greatly influenced by her. She was, I always think that she doesn't get the true credit she does. That's another video, I guess. But Edward wasn't above taking bits of land that he perhaps wasn't supposed to have. And for instance, he took London from Athelflaed, which was then part of Mercia. I mean, Mercia must have been a heck of a size.
Well, yes. I mean, we forget how big Mercia was and how powerful during, its prime.
But Athelflaed wasn't stupid. She knew that if she had a battle with Edward, the Vikings would come straight in. And she got plans far wider than just, well, she saw it as a small piece of her land. So
Edward the Older's cousin, Athelwold, the son of Alfred's older brother, King Athelred I, claimed the throne. So that's quite interesting. Again, more people trying to claim the throne. You know, you get a king dies and all these people come out of the woodwork saying, I should be king.
Well, that's the trouble with it being a king or queen. There's no higher you can go, and everybody's trying to take your position.
But unfortunately, his bid was, well, it was unsuccessful. He fled to Northumbrian, to the Danes, who, according to the version of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, accepted him.
What a surprise.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense, doesn't it, really?
It gives them the excuse to invade. And I'm afraid, throughout history, you'll see, it doesn't take much for them to get an army going and attack. But
yes.
There you go.
So, in the year of 902 AD, Athelwold travelled with a fleet of longships to Essex, and they camped over winter with the East Anglian Danes, and were persuaded the following year to attack Mercia and the north of Wessex.
Yeah, it's, as I say, imagine they're coming in, it's like spreading across the country.
Of course so, yes.
Can't blame them. I mean, there's good, healthy land when you consider where they came from. It's
I mean, for the common folk, it must have been very, very frightening, really. You know.
yeah. I mean, you couldn't win really as a farmer, could you? Because you either got the Danes attacking you, or you got the Saxon overlords taking everything virtually you've got. So heads you lose, tails you don't win.
Well, at this point, Edward, the son of King Alfred, they retreated, and Edward he retaliated by ravaging East Anglia, and the Danish army was forced to go home and defend their own territory. So yet again, Edward was forcing the hand. I mean, all these tactics he had to do to win.
See, this is interesting because whenever you mention Vikings and battle,
Yes.
people think this was some superpower.
Well, of course so.
But if you look through history, they lost as many as they won. I mean, you know, their transportation and some of their weaponry was superior. But the Saxons had this unification which Edward would have got from his dad and from Athelflaed to form a country, whereas the Vikings operated as separate bands and they never united properly.
And of course, we often forget that Edward had the training from childhood to be king, you know, so he would have had a lot of very good advisors and people around him and a very good council.
He also got the backup of people like the Pope.
Yeah.
Whereas the Vikings is a bit shaky, you know. He's got an escape route should things go really bad, but he's also could call on fellow Christians.
Yeah, so at this point, after Edward had ravaged the East Anglia and the Danish army was forced to move, Edward retreated. But the men of Kent disobeyed Edward's order to retire, and then at the beginning of winter, the 13th of December in 902 AD, the Kentish Saxon met the Danes at the Battle of the Holme.
So we come to the meat of it.
You would do, yes. And it must have been a very bloody battle. I mean, all battles in the Dark Ages were.
Well, I mean, you see an example of that on the Bayeux tapestry, you know, with headless bodies, arms and everything, which I'm sure you'll cover later. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is why you get stories of these heroes. You could be cut yourself. You wouldn't know it's your enemy. It could be their enemy.
Of course, you'd be awful of energy and, you know.
Scared.
Well, you're scared as well, yes.
Doesn't matter who you are, mate. If someone's trying to chop your head off, you get scared.
If you're not scared, you're not human.
Exactly.
So, as we mentioned earlier, the area of the battle took place is unknown, very sadly. And the Danes appear to have won, according to the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. They kept the place of slaughter, suffering heavy losses. What does that mean, actually, when they say that they kept the place of slaughter, Egil?
Well, first thing you have to take with a pinch of salt when they talk about army sizes and casualties, because let's just say they're gilding the lily. Now, what was it again? You're keeping the place.
Well, they kept the place of slaughter after they won, according to the Chronicle.
Basically means they won. It's their field. You know, the only people there who shouldn't be are the dead.
Yes.
But they have a very florid. I mean, to us, it's very florid, long-winded. This way of speech. They would find it very hard to understand what we're saying because to them, we're very uncultured.
So, including Athelwold and Eorthric, probably the Danish king of East Anglia, Brisage, son of Athling, Bjarnath, and two noble Vikings, Usurper and Ossetal, died on the field.
Yeah, there's
I pronounce those names right.
Bjarnath.
Bjarnath, yes.
There was it was a very strange battle. It was, I can't remember exactly where it was, but the Vikings were isolated on an island. Saxons outnumbered them, and Bjarnath was about to slaughter them.
Was this before this, or that same? Or this Battle of Holme?
I don't know, if I'm being honest.
Fair
But
enough.
the Viking leader said, "Look, come on, mate, give us a chance," and they let him cross the causeway. And in the ensuing battle, Bjarnath was killed. Now, J.R. Tolkien actually did a poem or short story on two guys who were finding the body of the king and taking it back. But entertaining reading, to be honest with you.
So let's talk about the losses on the Saxon side. The Kentish Saxons losses included Sigurd Holme, the father of Edward the Older, third wife, Eadgifu of Kent. Yeah. So
I have to say some of these names are virtually
yes.
It's not Bragi's fault.
It's difficult pronouncing English, let alone pronouncing Anglo-Saxon, which you're not fundamentally used to.
No.
So, just bear us in, in time in the channel, we are going to get it right, because the more we pronounce, the more we're going to learn. And if you do know how to pronounce these words, then please put it down in the comments.
That's the theory.
Yes. So, the West Saxon chronicle who gave the fullest account of the battle was at pains to explain why Edward and his army were, not present at the battle. So, and there's lots of speculation about that.
Well, it's that speculation that keeps history alive. I think it was Flaubert who said, "What is history but a fable we all agree on?" My interpretation is, what is history but a fable we all disagree on? Because you get more than one historian, you'll get more than one view on it.
Well, luckily there's one historian and me, so...
Well, I have to be honest, he's as good as what I was trained.
Well, I'm not qualified.
Oh. Anyway, so back to the Battle of Holme.
Yeah, well, that's fundamentally it. That's all the bit of information we've got to tell you about the battle. I think it's a very interesting battle. It's certainly one that we don't often hear about enough, and certainly needs to be more research done on the Battle of Holme.
It certainly brings about the impression that there was always fighting around East Anglia and places around Kent, because people are jockeying for position.
Well, of course so.
And it must have been hell just to be an ordinary farmer in the street, so to speak. So, anyway, I found that very illuminating.
And I do hope you learned something at home.
Yeah.
And we will be telling more videos on more battles from the Dark Ages.
So,
what is your favourite battle? Let us know.
So, how do they leave a response if you want to leave a response?
Well, there's two ways. First of all, you can just leave a hashtag Viking battles.
Ooh.
Now, let me just talk about hashtag something here for a second, because I see one or two people and they do different hashtags. If you've got a hashtag with more than 2 words, always make sure that your words are spelled with capital letters. Because let's just say Ask Egil Anything. If you don't have capital letters on the anything and the Egil, then it's just going to be read as one word. Ask Egil Anything, and it's a bit difficult.
Oh, right.
And especially if you're blind and you're relying on using YouTube, you do want good hashtags. So if you do type a hashtag, always make sure you use your beginning of your words with capital letters.
I've learned something there.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 people. I noticed Celtic God doesn't do that, so that's mainly for Celtic God, really. But
Celtic God.
Just to explain to you, all you guys out there, about hashtags and how they work.
But also, I mean, there's the old... We've still got a subscription bell, yeah?
If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe. You click on the subscription bar, and then you click on the bell. By clicking the bell, you'll be notified when we publish, when we premiere, which we don't often do now, and also when we also live stream, which we don't often do, but we need to do more so.
Also, I'd like to say, if you've got a comment, don't be shy.
No.
Bring it in. It'll take a while for us to get there, but we will, hand on his heart, that we will get there. So please send us your comments. We always like to hear from you. And remember, it's you guys out there and girls that make this channel what it is. I mean, we're having fun no matter what, right. But that's not the point. The point is, we both hope that everybody is happy with it. Maybe you got suggestions. Maybe
you can't please all the people all the time, but you can certainly try, can't you, Egil?
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I think that's a suitable place to draw a line under.
Just drawing a line there, Egil.
Till we meet again, have a good time.
On this note, we're going. I beat you to that one. Do-do-do.
Oh, no, that's going to be in my head.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. I hate the song. Do-do. Why do you hate the song, Egil?
Because it's one of those tunes that stays in your head. Do-do. And you can't shift it.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. The Sweeney. Do-do. We shot the head.
Right.
Yes, Egil hates the Sweeney song ever since.
I can't watch the series now.
Because they sing it turned up in his head.
Oh well.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We're going now.
I've
Oh,
gone.
Egil's going.
I've gone.
Bye, Egil.
Bye.